Yellow. Yellow.
Oh, here I am.
Wow,
Could you not see me? Was I out of the?
I totally saw you.
Okay, never mind.
You
I wanted to like appear out of nowhere. I
no.
was like, whoa! But I was in the shot the whole time, so it
You
just
were,
looked like
you
I was
were.
like cracking my back or something.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
We're here to talk about the Green Mile.
Yay! The greenest of miles,
Yeah.
as we know.
It is a movie we watched today, and we're
Yes.
going to dissect it as much as we can.
Yes.
on
Get
this
ready
show.
for our 4-course meal,
Mhm.
with appetizers and desserts and just everything yummy and tasty. Just
Yes.
yum.
And
Gobble,
this
gobble, gobble.
and this feast, if you are not aware of, is known as the monthly movie Munchies.
Nom, nom, nom,
Oh,
nom.
bam, like that right
Okay.
there. Yeah. And
Special
we're gonna
effects.
find out if something's good.
Good. You
Uh,
know it is.
And that's something obviously being the Green Mile today.
I'm gonna talk like this the entire time. I'm gonna talk like a Green Mile person.
Good luck. That's all I can
It's the
say.
entire review. Imagine.
Yeah.
I give this an M because of this and this.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that.
A little bit of this and that, boy.
All right. Well, how we like to start these things off is with like some appetizing facts. Is what we're
Yes,
gonna be
some
giving.
yummy appetizing
Mhm.
facts, and we have Matthew here to give them to us.
Can you switch it to Matthew?
Here he is.
Oh,
All right, hey
wow.
guys, what's going on? I got my
Matthew's
fun
here.
facts here.
Yeah.
So, Green Mile. All right, let's get into this. The sequel to Blue Kilometer. No.
I loved Blue Kilometer,
Oh,
so I was
such a
looking
good
forward
one.
to Green Mile.
It was a trilogy actually.
Oh,
Green
really?
Mile's the last one. Blue Kilometer
Okay.
was the second. First one was Pink Foot.
Pink what?
Pink
foot?
Foot.
It's
like
a
a
disease.
foot long. Like it's different measurements.
We called it the Pink Foot.
Pink Foot. But okay, so rolling right out of the gate here. When I looked up fun facts for this movie, first one I was like, oh, okay, weird. It's slightly based off of a true story.
Oh.
That happened in the past, and it got dark. I was like, "Oh no, I didn't know that was not the supernatural stuff. Everything that's supernatural obviously was added, which I think is funny."
Oh, really? I never would have guessed.
Because like it's just like it's almost like Stephen King took this real story. It's like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna make this into a live action movie. It's gonna be amazing," but like it's missing something. It's superhero powers. I feel like if we throw that,
We need someone going.
and we need flies coming out of people's mouths. That would make this.
Fuck yeah.
That would make this less dark. But no, the true story. Back in the day, I forgot what the year was, but a wrongly convicted black person for executing and raping and murdering these two girls was a real thing, and he was. They found out years later that it wasn't him and everything. So he got falsely executed, but it was a 14-year-old boy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's what
Wow.
I was reading. I was like, that is interesting.
So how we do these things are we kind of do this over the course of a day, and around after we watch the film, we go into our little like.
our little sections, our little
Yes.
corners. So I'm over here looking up facts. He knows nothing. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't know what I'm looking up. So this is the first time he's heard
Yeah,
it.
and I just hear Matt over there just going, "Oh, that's dark."
Oh, that's dark.
Oh,
I'm reading
that's-
this. Just a 14-year-old boy accused of raping and murdering two young girls.
Yeah.
So probably the same age as him.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this Matt reading? over
Yeah,
there? It's like,
no.
that's dark.
But like it's
Oh.
sad too, because apparently like the way that like the trial went down, like his like defense lawyer or whatever, when it was going down and stuff, nobody was giving him like any like his
Of
defense
course.
lawyer was barely fighting for him. They were
Of
just like,
course.
all right, like everyone was on the side of just kill him, you know.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Fun, appetizing facts.
Yay! Yummy, yummy, yummy. Gobble, gobble.
Yeah, we used to call this section fun facts, and well,
Now they're dark facts.
Now-
Now it's very serious facts.
I'm not appetized at all. I'm gonna throw up. Yeah, what else you got though?
Rolling into the next one, because I think Geneva brought this up when we were watching it. Like how many mice were used, like as
Oh,
like
yeah,
mice
yeah,
actors, whatever. They used roughly 15 to 30. So there's no exact amount, but just like 15 to 30 different mice were used for each scene. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting because they kind of all look the same,
They do.
except the one at the ending, which
Yeah,
clearly
yeah.
look different.
No, I couldn't tell. No.
And then also the fact that John John Coffey's character,
Mm-hmm.
the way they make him look so much bigger, just all the small things that they do.
Mm-hmm.
His bed in the cell they made significantly smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And then the electric chair they put him in is also smaller than the other
Oh,
electric
interesting.
chairs, just to make him look more massive and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah, no, because like when I was watching this, I was thinking this is totally like forced perspective. I know the size
Oh,
of
yeah.
this actor, and I was
Yeah,
just
no,
like,
100%.
yeah. Honestly, half the time I was watching this, I was kind of like thinking like he's totally on a box right now. I want the,
He's totally on a
I
box.
want the cut outside where he's just like just hunched over everyone, just standing on an apple
just
crate
like
or
this,
something.
and like you see Tom Hanks sort of crouching down
Yeah.
a little.
It's like, oh wow, you're so big.
Wow.
Wow.
But also like a lot of the camera shots you can tell were
Mhm.
kind of like from a downward perspective looking up to
Yeah.
making him look a little
Oh, of
bigger
course.
than normal, you know?
Mhm.
Which I think is funny. But yeah, so those are just a couple facts, a couple appetizers. We don't want to get you too full yet. You know, we still got a lot of food coming your way.
Oh my God, do we have a lot of food?
Oh, we got so much food coming your way, let me tell you.
Yeah, no, like I was watching this movie. We've done this 2 times before. Planet of the Apes and oh no, what was our second movie? I forgot it already.
Close Encounters
Close
of the
Encounters
Third
of the
Kind.
Third Kind.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah. Like usually I write down these notes just like while I'm watching the
Small
movie. to get an
bullet
idea.
points. Yeah, nothing too
This-
serious.
Yeah, except for this one.
And
This
then you
one-
got serious.
This one got serious.
This
I
one
have
got-
so much to talk
And
about.
I have
on
no
this
idea
one.
what you have written down. So.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
We will see. We will see.
Do you want to just go ahead and get to the first course then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it. Here come our dinner plates. Oh,
Yep.
here they are. Yum yum.
Yeah.
What is it?
The first course is storytelling right here.
Slash writing.
Oh, God.
The UTI part was unnecessary. Just as a
Yes.
whole, the entirety of it, it could have been done differently.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just the fact that it was about his crotch. That was just so unnecessary and weird.
Yeah.
Closer.
Suppose you know you ain't supposed to then.
Mind your business, Dale. What do you want, John Coffey? Just to help. What are you doing?
It was basically just like, it's like for him, there's so many other options you could have gone through that doesn't necessarily require having to grab a person's crotch.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it is a huge what the fuck moment when we're watching it.
One of my biggest things with this movie, and like it took me out of it a little, was just the tone change, the dramatic tone
Yes.
change. Every other scene, I couldn't tell whether this was going to be serious or a drama or whatever. It jumps a lot, and I feel like it didn't pick like a precise like
Oh, yeah,
tone.
yeah. No, honestly, one of the main things with that too, and it's like see, the tone is one thing. I feel like there's so much tone shifting in this, and we were talking about this while watching it. It almost feels like it's just 2 different movies.
It does 100%.
And it comes to the point where when that scene that comes up with the healing of the crotch, I felt like the movie I was watching before that scene was way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I was watching and I was loving this idea of just simply death row guards trying to go day by day with these individuals that are planning to, not planning to, but they're basically going to be put in the chair.
Yeah.
Because it creates this vibe where you're making friends with people that are not going to be alive in a month's time.
Yeah, and like they did it well. I feel like for the
Yeah.
most part, the relationships with the guards and the prisoners, they were good and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And then in comes John Coffey, and at first it's just like, oh, okay, he reads over his paperwork, sees what he's done, and stuff like that, you know. And they could have just played off of that,
Yeah.
of finding out he was an innocent man through other ways
Mm-hmm.
besides just having his supernatural ability. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Wild Bill's in the cell, you know what I mean? They could have done the reveals differently in a way that was just normal and stuck to the concept of prison row guards and inmates, period.
Yes, literally.
Nothing else. No miracles, no fucking God shit. Like
Yeah, no, like for real. It's like, to me, it's so weird because it just brings it down. It takes this
Yeah.
movie away from this very grounded and real and like emotionally complex film
Yeah.
and goes, hey, but what if heal UTI through crotch touch? You know, it's like,
yeah.
what? And it's like, okay, past that, what if smuggle inmate out, hijack house of boss, heal wife mid-bed?
Yeah, just
It's like, what?
that entire scene too is just
Yeah.
so like, I again, all of those scenes where it's the supernatural thing happening. I feel like this may be the next section more of cast and crew. So I
Yeah.
don't know if you want to wrap up the previous section before I jump into.
Honestly, I think I am good with.
You sure?
r-
It seems like you have a lot written
There's
down
only
there.
one I would add on, so continue what you're saying, then I'll tack that on.
Well, what I was going to continue saying would probably relate more to cast and crew.
Okay, then basically I'll just go ahead and just tack this
Yeah,
on
yeah,
then
go for
real
it, go for
fast. And that's just, with these supernatural elements and stuff, the only reason I felt like it was there, and this is talking about writing-wise,
Mhm.
is just to give the film a climax. Like, I feel like that's the only reason it's there. They
Yeah.
felt like, or the book even felt like there wasn't enough emotional, like, investment, so they needed to create a situation where he has to heal someone, and it creates
Yeah,
a
they
situation where
needed-
people are shooting each other.
In
and-
order to make the impact of his death more serious, they needed to
Yeah.
make him more of a symbol.
Yeah.
And the way to do that was to make it seem like he can perform miracles, like he's
Yes.
someone of
Yes.
God or something, like he's basically like Jesus or something.
And it's a shame because this movie actually didn't need that. It
No,
straight up
it didn't.
need that. Like, you could have a climax in itself of just him, John Coffey,
Mhm.
being a normal dude.
Yeah, he
being
played
a nice
he played a
guy.
perfectly fine
Yeah.
character and everything. And
Yeah.
like just the way like the dialogue and stuff for him is written, the way he plays his character is
Yeah.
very good. And they could have had different scenes without the supernatural stuff,
Mhm.
and the ending still would have been sad. It
Exactly.
still would have been.
It's literally set up already to be a very good, like, A to B movie. And then
Yes.
they just had to throw in all those, like, A.2s and stuff. and it
Yeah,
doesn't
which just
work.
weren't necessary.
So did you want to, like, give a cap on the storytelling? and the cast and crew?
Yes. So, writing and a story. Are you giving this an M?
This is so fucking hard
I know.
to figure out, because on one half there's half of this movie I love.
I know. It goes back and forth. Like we said, it's two different movies. And I totally agree with you. As a whole, like it's a good story and it's done well for the most part. I feel like there's just parts of it that I'm just like, why was that in there? And just why did that like
Yeah.
ruin it or take me out of it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So can I give it half an M? Can I give it an N?
I mean, we haven't ever had this situation before.
No.
What do you feel? I feel like we should either give it or not give it. But if you want to give it halves, I'm down.
No,
to
I
give it
don't
halves.
think we should do halves.
The-
For
Audience, what
the
do you
sake
think,
of
audience? What do you think? Should we give halves?
for the
audience?
sake of I don't know, everything else.
I mean, honestly, I'm okay with giving it halves. Honestly, because sometimes there's certain scenarios where like movies are excelling in some areas but not excelling in others. But it's in
Exactly,
the
yeah.
same category.
Because storytelling, like it's good, but like it's just like if I give it to it, I'd be like, oh, but like is it
If you want to
worth
give it a half,
Did we agree with that? Just giving it a half.
I don't mind doing a half.
You want to do a half M?
I'm okay with that if you want to do a half.
All right,
M.
we're giving this an N,
Yeah, this
and that doesn't stand for what you think it does.
this is an N rating. N
Hey,
rating.
there you go. There you go.
But yeah, no, it's so hard. This one is like this one's a really weird one.
It is.
It's a weird one. Yeah. So I mean, that's all I have to say on writing. If you want to talk about what you were saying with cast and crew.
What was I talking about before
we
that?
were talking about John Coffey and just like
His acting and stuff in general, right?
I think something.
I
'cause
forgot.
We were,
I
we were
had-
talking about the climactic scene where they were healing the lady. is kind of what we were talking about.
Right. Okay, so when it comes to cast and crew, like the acting in this movie, for the most part, it's done okay. The one thing I did have kind of a problem with was I don't know, everyone's reaction to the supernatural.
Yes. Oh my dear God.
Everyone's reaction was the same, and it seemed unrealistic. I'm like they're just standing there and just not doing anything. By the way, they do that a lot through this movie, and they're just like I don't know. They don't acknowledge it as much as they should. They're
really
just
don't.
because Tom Hanks' character, even after that scene, he's just kind of like, oh, that's weird, you know. And then it's like, oh, it's healed and stuff like that. He barely questions it. Next day, he goes about his daily routine and everything. But if you saw that in real life, if that was a thing you actually saw, like glowing and lights, I'd be like, what the fuck is happening? Oh, why? Well, I'd be scared.
Yeah.
And everyone's just standing there, just like, what? Like, it's just, I don't know. It didn't seem believable.
Not at all.
Especially to the scene that you just related to in the last
Yes.
one when he heals his wife.
Yes.
He just lets him come in, and the other guys are just like, just stand there and watch. Meanwhile, the husband has no idea what's going on. He's just standing there, blank faced, not reacting at all.
No, for real. It's like when we were watching this, it's like this movie banks on you so hard for knowing the greater context that the movie already showed you, but there's so many characters and so many scenes that don't have a greater context.
Yeah, no,
So,
100%.
Yeah, like the one you're talking about. It's like I mean, I assume if you're watching this, you've watched the movie. And
I
it's
assume.
Like, yeah.
I'm going to assume.
And it's like this boss character. It's just like he should not just be okay with this situation. Like if I was in his shoes, I'd be like, "Holy shit, my prison guards are in a cult."
Yeah, what is
straight up-
happening?
Yeah.
If I'm running like a prison row or whatever, you know, and my guards come to me with an inmate who, to my knowledge,
Yes.
raped and killed 2 girls.
Yes.
Hey, he's gonna come in your wife's room and heal her. I'd be like, you better get the fuck out of my house right fucking now.
They don't even say they're gonna heal her.
No, he
They
doesn't
just
even say that. He just said, trust me, trust me, trust me.
us. And then like meanwhile they're holding him back while this big guy is
This big guy's
walking up the stairs.
slowly walking, peeking at the wife through the door,
Yeah.
walking in. I'm gonna heal you.
Yeah.
And then just kisses her.
She doesn't even say heal. He doesn't say heal. He's
Yeah,
just
no,
like-
he doesn't.
He's just like,
I don't think he says anything. In all honesty, yeah. It's just that entire scene was very unrealistic in my opinion.
Yeah. No, Geneva, I don't know if this is the exact quote, but once upon a Geneva just said in quotations, watch, just watch.
Watch, just watch.
just watch this, bro. You're gonna love it.
He's in the corner.
It's like, why don't you love it? I love it.
Oh my god.
No, you should have seen what he did to me back in the prison cell.
Oh
my
You
god.
should have seen the way he touched me.
Damn.
Man. I don't know what it is, just with his superpowers and just being sexual with it.
Yeah, it's just, dude, you're right, though. You're right. It's like there's so much of this acting that doesn't feel appropriate.
Yeah.
Straight up, it does not feel
It does
appropriate.
not, no.
That includes like even the big, we haven't talked about him yet, the big evil sort of character Percy in this movie.
Yeah, the dickhead, the absolute
dickhead. See, a lot, I don't know if this is writing or acting or what, but he feels like so evil to the point where it doesn't really make sense anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just like he's doing it just to do it because that's his character. It's like, oh, just be mean just because. Just be a dick just because.
Like, I was hoping for more character, because this is a 3-hour movie. If you're going to have a 3-hour movie, you have to have time not dedicating to random sex scene outside window noise make, to like actually fleshing out maybe the evil character to show why he might be so evil.
Some kind of backstory or something.
Yeah.
All you know is that his dad is a very high up person or something like that, right? They mentioned it like once or twice, and
Like,
they're
in the
we know
government.
very well who your connections are. I don't know why my voice was like that.
we know.
I say I know what your father is. But
I say, I am your father.
I'm your father now. But yeah, no, Percy didn't feel. He seemed like the movie needed like, oh, we need like an asshole character, and they just threw him in with little to no background at all. He's just there being a dick.
There's like scenes where they even try to build up. I just flipped the image right here. The
Okay.
one scene that
Let me
there's a
see it.
couple scenes that show. There's
A good image,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a couple scenes that show humility. This is one of them. It's the image of him, like mouth over face because he's frying the guy without the sponge.
Oh, okay,
behind
yeah.
him. And it's just like that's one of the few scenes where he's like, "Oh shit, what I did was pretty rough." You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But even then, after the scene, glossed over.
Yes.
It's just like it's any time there's a moment where, like, for example, Percy or honestly anyone else really has like a very complex moment, it feels like the movie doesn't give it the proper breath to take it in.
Right. Yeah. Because immediately after this, they acknowledge it. Whatever, the boss comes in and he says his thing, and Percy's like, "Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to wet the sponge," and stuff like that, But then, like, the next scene he's in, he's still a fucking dick.
Yeah, he's a dick. He's a little dick.
It's like that scene didn't happen at all. It had no effect on his character.
Yeah.
At all in any way. I feel
Yeah.
like nothing does.
No.
He's very one note.
Yes.
I feel like 100%.
Well, it's almost so crazy because it's so one note here. It feels like all of this is predictable. When I was watching the movie, there were moments where I'm like, that set up that this is going to happen, and it always happened. And it was like, I was just seeing, like, I know where it's going to go. Like, we're talking with the sponge, and we have a clip of that, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. With the wet sponge?
Yeah, so
Yes.
basically, earlier on in this movie, they like show, and this might be kind of storytelling, but at the same time, I feel like this is very director-based because, like, it's ultimately the director and editor that have the final say of how they go about doing these cuts and making these cuts for the movie. And it's just like they're showing, like, oh, by the way, you gotta wet the sponge. You don't want to not wet the sponge.
They specifically say that to him in the beginning.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so at some point, someone's not gonna wet the sponge.
Yeah, and they're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, I wonder who's gonna do that.
Oh no, maybe it's the bad guy.
Yeah. So it's like when the movie does get to that point, which we'll show the clip, it's like to me, all tension zapped out of it because I already know what's gonna happen. I know this character.
Exactly.
I know how it's set up.
It's just it comes out of nowhere. It's like what did he have against Dell? Like other than just being a dick to everyone, he's a dick to Dell. He was a dick to John, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, what was his motive for doing that? Just for the fuck of it?
Yeah.
Just I want to see him fry, just because. Like, why is this character so dark and evil?
And it's like, when you do that, and that's why I'm saying, if he's going to do a character like that, and you're making him basically a psychopath, in that same scene when he's seeing the reflections of his actions like this, and reacting to it, it's like, you can't just have both and not dedicate the actual complexity to the situation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You can't have him reacting like this, and then the next scene gloss over it and show that he's learned nothing. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
And if he's going to react to this in the first place, he has to show while he's doing it some sort of like, ooh, I don't know if I should be doing this, but he's just fully like,
he's just
let's
like,
go.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna, fuck it, and then just, I don't know.
Yeah, well, let's watch the clip. Let's
go for it.
Here we go.
Celle de Mary pleine de faces animales avec le banning entre toute la famille. Moi, j'ai aussi la foi de rentrer. La Mary mère de Dieu priait pour moi, de mon mort, ainsi soit-il. Celle de Mary, Seigneur, vous êtes béni entre toutes les familles. Et je me suis Jésus, le fruit de vos entrailles. Sainte Mary, mère de Dieu priait pour nous, maintenant et l'heure de notre mort.
Edward Delacroix, electricity shall now be passed through your body until you are dead in accordance with state law. God have mercy on your soul.
Okay, so, like, again, we were just talking about Percy and how he's just initially just a piece of shit for no reason, no motives, no nothing, which I feel like is like, why? If you're going to have 3 hours in a movie and not even try to build up this character to have more of a, like, build to it, why is he here? He seems like he's just thrown in. It seems like Stephen King was just like, I want a dick in here to just do shit for no fucking reason.
We have the character dick. We have the UTI dick. How many more dicks do we need?
We have all the dicks. I love dicks. I'm Stephen King.
I'm Stephen King. I love dicks.
I'm Stephen King. I love dicks. Physically, metaphorically, all kinds. But yeah, so that, and then also another topic that we were going to talk about right now was
Yes.
that
You saw it in the clip.
it takes them a long time to react to things. Again, very unrealistic reactions to things.
Yes.
You see Tom Hanks' character clearly staring at the bucket. There's no water. It takes a second to find that out. Again, how come nobody saw that the sponge was dry? You see in the other execution scene, the water is pouring on his head. Even the guy that puts on the cap knows if there's water there. He's got to touch it. He's got to see it. There had to be, like, they're so stupid to not see that the sponge was fucking dry.
Well, it's not only that; it's the character motivations in the first place. They all know Percy's a dick.
Did they really think he was gonna do this normally?
Yeah, no, like if I was any of them in there, I'd be like, watch Percy, see what kind of shit he tries to pull.
This is the first time he's doing this. Don't just trust him. Oh, you
Yeah.
got this. You're an asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're an asshole. You're gonna do fine.
Yeah,
you know?
you'll be
It's just
fine. You see Tom Hanks' character just standing there, not even watching him too when he's
Yeah.
doing the sponge. So
It's-
I'm just like, why?
It's like it's not only is this like he not taking action when finding this out, the fact that he had to find this out in the first place blows my mind. It's like what we're saying. It's like he should already know Percy's gonna pull shit. The first thing he should have been looking is look at that bucket.
yeah, exactly.
That shit's not full.
Make sure it's wet. All right,
Yeah.
cool. If you're in any scenario where you're a boss and you're training someone new to do something, you make sure they do it correctly and you watch them do it. He wasn't doing that, and just the way that he reacts. Yeah, I said, what? Huh? Am I putting two and two together to figure something out? That's
like,
crazy.
how do I? Ooh.
It took him too long to figure it out, and by the time like he does, I feel like he doesn't stop it. He's just like, the sponge is dry, and then like he starts to fry, and he's just standing there. The goddamn sponge is dry. Like it's
The sponge is dry.
yeah.
Shit.
I don't understand why they couldn't shut it off
It's like
sooner.
it's like I guess at that point you're already too far gone. If you like turn it off.
But he realized it before he started getting
That's
electrocuted.
the thing.
He
That's
could
the
have
thing,
been
yeah.
like, no, stop, turn it off. Boom, done. He may have gotten shocked maybe a couple seconds, but he still would have been alive and then redo it.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He was like, oh shit, it's too gone now. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like,
and then, meanwhile, Dell's just like.
yeah, his fucking head bursts into flames, and it's just like
the nicest fucking. Well, okay, not nicest, but he's like up there as being a. Really
yeah,
nice,
no, yeah,
he
yeah. He
just-
was throughout the movie he was a nice guy.
Yeah,
so.
it's like I get it. They're trying to build up attention in the scene because you're watching someone you really like being fried by a dude that's evil. But at the same time, that doesn't like you're purposely writing the scene to evoke a reaction as
Yeah.
opposed to writing the scene like these characters are real. And it's just nah.
Nah.
It blows my mind like Dell right there.
Yeah, there you go. Do you have the picture
I got
right
the
there?
picture
It's right there.
Yeah.
It's there.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I had to say on that. Is there anything you wanted to add for casting crew?
I could keep going, but
Well, there's a lot we can
for
keep going
the
on
sake
this.
of time right now, because we still got to get into a couple other things, I'm gonna say that's basically it. Just to sum it all up,
Yeah.
a little unrealistic and unbelievable characters. I feel like the only character they fleshed out was Tom Hanks' character. Like
Yeah.
for the most part, and maybe a little bit. I mean, if I'm being honest, not a whole lot on John Coffey actually. A bit, but like the fact about his superpowers, it wasn't fully fleshed out. At the end, you still don't understand. You don't understand how it started from. They literally say like, "Oh, the man came out of nowhere." Like,
Yeah. No, like,
okay.
and I don't know if it was just you, but you can tell right from the beginning, right from the introduction, you're just like, he didn't do it. Like,
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
you know
he's
that's
not
what
gonna
it is.
do
Of
He's-
course.
Yeah, narratively, there's gonna be something else that
Mhm.
explains it.
Of
And
course.
as soon as Wild Bill's introduced, I'm like, there's the murderer, because it's like it's the only thing that really makes sense. It was either Wild Bill or Percy, and it's just.
But it
like,
also doesn't explain how John Coffey got there, how he knew
Yeah.
about the girls, like how why did he take them away? Like why did he couldn't just heal them where they were, or he had to take them somewhere to heal them? Why did he take the girls to like the river and then try to heal them, and then how did they even like it's just there's a lot of questions
There's
that
too many
are
questions.
unanswered
too
here.
many questions.
Yeah,
All right. Well, I mean, yeah. Okay, you ready to give a rating for cast and crew?
yeah.
What are you feeling? We can have separate ratings, by the way.
I will
Don't
not
forget
give
that.
it the M for this.
You just straight up
no,
no.
I won't. I'm sorry.
This is fine because this is a really tough one for me too. Because
It was a
it's
tough
like-
one on the last one. We gave it a
Yeah,
halvesies,
Yeah, it's like see for this one, I want to agree with everything you're saying, but on the other hand, like Tom Hanks still does a really good
Oh,
job.
fantastic
in
job.
this.
Yeah, no, 100%
Yeah.
he does. Him and John Coffey's character, I forget what the actor's name is. They both do a
Mhm.
fantastic job. Like, as far there, because there are some really good acting scenes.
Yes,
with both of them, and they get really emotional. You know what I mean?
It's just that overall, right?
It's just the overall, the way that the story plays out, and the overall, because you can't just include the two main characters. The story includes every other character, and there's so many other side characters who, within 3 hours, just are not flushed out as they could be. It's like he just focused on those two, and that was it.
Yeah,
And
it's the way it's directed. It's like it's not necessarily like I understand it's like right here this plays into character arcs and writing
Yeah.
and all that, but it's like it's how this thing's shot.
Yeah.
It's how this thing's directed. It's where they chose to make their focuses,
Mhm.
and it's rough because it's like on one hand some of the actors very good, some of them not good.
Yeah.
And then how they structured all this together, it just doesn't vibe well enough.
It doesn't vibe well enough.
Yeah, there's a lot here.
See, like it's funny because like at the end, like just as far as our rating system goes, like I'm all over the place on this one. So, well, right now for casting
You don't want to
crew,
give it the M.
I won't give it the M for this one.
Are we doing separate ratings or are we doing like
No, it doesn't matter.
are we doing the same rating or separate ratings?
We can do separate. Right now, I have a half.
Yeah, I think I want to give it a half, 2 for this, just because some of the acting in here is very good.
Yeah,
There's
no,
like
I know.
that whole. I feel a lot of it's Oscar baity. A
It
lot
is.
of it.
It
A lot
is.
of it is trying to be emotional. This is director's fault.
Yeah.
They're trying to play up the emotions as opposed to the actual lore of the characters.
Mhm.
Fuck.
It's hard, man. I'm telling
wanna
you.
give
I
it-
don't know.
I want to give it half, just because there is a lot of good in here. It's just
I
once
know there
again,
is.
just like
I
the
know
last
there
one,
is.
it's
I know.
it's hindered by too much bad too. So we got half here and technically a whole total so far.
I know. I feel
One M
bad.
and N.
Like, it's so back and forth.
It
'Cause
is though. That's the problem.
As we get
with
to
it.
the end, I don't know if I say it right now or at the end of our review, but like overall, I enjoyed the movie. like as much as I give it such a low score.
It hurts. It hurts.
Overall, when the ending was happening, after everything went down and stuff, and as it ended, I was like, "That's good." Like that's
Yeah,
just overall,
good.
it's good. But just
Yeah. Well, see here, we still have a third category to go.
no, we
through.
do. Okay.
So
okay.
in other words, all I'm saying is like maybe there is a chance.
Let's see.
They
Let's see. What's our next category?
third-
What's our next course? I'm sorry.
audio
What's our
and
next course?
visuals.
Audio
and
and
visuals is our last,
visuals. All right.
our next course here. Ironically, this is the part I had the biggest gripe with.
Yeah. So
We talked about it earlier too.
yeah, a bit. Do you want to start off?
The music is so not okay here.
No, it's again. We've already mentioned this. It's very up and down, out of tone. Yeah. Once he started, when he
Point still, you crazy, you little son of a bitch! I'm going to kill you, you! Point you out! Point you little vermin! I'm gonna stomp your life out! Just a little mouth, dirty, you ugly little piece of... Are you listening to me? Pussy! I'm gonna rip your diseased head off!
Look, that's not where you put the silly music.
I know it's really just out of place. They were trying to just make it more lightheartedness and stuff like that. I guess
It's not a
but
lighthearted
just,
scene. We found out, or Geneva let us know earlier, Thomas Newman is the composer for this movie.
Thomas Newman.
I love this guy. This guy's composed amazing soundtracks. Wall-E,
he does Wall-E?
1917. He did, I believe he did Passengers. He did Finding Nemo.
Nice. Oh wow, yeah.
Like he has such a. What happened?
What happened
from
with this one?
99 to like 2004?
Yeah, every other movie you mentioned has been after this, right?
Yes,
Or no? Yeah.
yes, it has. So it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. Well, he started off just not that great then.
Yes, because it's just like
it's a rough start.
Yeah, because like not only is the music here kind of just doing what it needs to do,
Mhm.
what it needs to do isn't correct in a lot of these places.
Yeah, I didn't walk away from this going like, "Oh, that sound was really good" or whatever. Like, "Oh, great audio like for that scene." Or it was just all mediocre to me. It was either mediocre or out of place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and visuals wise,
Nothing special.
Nothing special.
No, again, there's no cool like cinematography scenes. Everything is basically just like shooting their face or shooting the scene. Or,
You also got
the shot of him doing the flash. Yeah.
So that's the most visual like interestingness.
I guess. Yeah, that's like maybe the most like best shot. But again, yeah, just very meh.
It does its job.
Not a lot to talk about, in all
Not a
honesty.
lot to
Nothing
talk
too
about.
special. Nothing too.
Visuals were generic.
Yeah.
Music was not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Fuck.
What? You just want to go to the rating? Do you actually want to talk more?
Okay. I'll switch my ratings a bit. I won't give it the M for this one at all.
Me either. There's like
But
no way.
I'm gonna go back and give the half. 'Cause I have to give more to this. I can't just end this with a half with a fucking N. I can't end this with an N. I'm sorry. I have to give it.
Do you want to give cast and crew an N too, like I did?
I'm gonna give cast and crew an M, a full M.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna give it a full.
I'll give it a full M.
Okay. I gotta stick with.
Because at the end of the movie, I enjoyed it.
Like the way.
Like it's all about how I feel at the end. I feel like
I
you
get
know?
you. So you're not
whatever.
giving this an M, but you're going back.
No, because audio and visuals was not like nothing special about it. It doesn't deserve anything special.
I'm also
It's
not
whatever.
giving it the M. I'm not giving it the M.
But overall, again, I like this movie. I enjoyed watching it, as some scenes were like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Like if you depict this movie down and break it down, it's just there's a lot of problems with it.
Yeah.
But it was a fun enough watch.
See, the way I see it, this feels very Avatar. We're basically in the just desserts now, so I'm gonna.
Yes,
I'm gonna,
yeah.
we're-
So right
we're
now I
summing
have
it
an
up.
M and a half. I have a M.
Yeah.
I have a M.
So I'm still sticking with my 2 N's and no M. So that means I'm
fair.
literally 1 M so far. But
1
this
M
is
out
the
of
just
3.
desserts
Or
where
4, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna just sum it up here. Yeah, this movie, I see it like Avatar in a way where it's like you watch Avatar, you can see it and you can go, "This is fun. I can enjoy this. I can come out going like, cool."
Yeah.
But there's so much. Like if I give it thought, I'm like, what the fuck? Like there's
a
just so
lot
much,
to
yeah.
it again, yeah.
So it's like I get what you're coming from. The way I see our rating system,
Yeah.
we do the score based on like each section and how far it excels, how far it doesn't excel, yada yada yada. I want to treat how much I like this movie as just a piece of that puzzle and not like the overall. I don't see our rating as this is good or bad. I see it as how much does it excel in all areas.
Yeah, I know.
So that being said, it hurts
It
for
hurts,
me.
Yeah.
But I will give it an M for enjoyability.
Okay.
I like the just desserts. I want to give it the M for I like this movie. Watch the movie. It's a good watch.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Again, I would say the same thing. I would, if like, it wouldn't be a movie I rave about to people, but I
Yeah.
also be like, if you haven't watched it, you should watch it and just see how you like it. Because some people are crazy about this movie. Some people love it. It was obviously very well like acclaimed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it just, when you break it down, it has its problems and everything.
Yeah.
But like you said, overall, like I just said, I enjoyed it at the end of it. And I was like, it was a good ending, and you know, it had a good beginning. I like the whole part where he's old, telling the story and stuff like that, and just like it had a good symbolism and everything. So I understand the meaning behind the movie and everything it was doing. It just could have done it better.
Yes.
But I will also give it the M for just desserts.
Got you.
Yeah.
So that's.
So I have
2.5 M's.
I have 2.5 M's out of 4,
and I have 2 M's.
and you have 2 M's.
That's so sad.
You know,
we are gonna get roasted.
It's horrible. Don't judge us, no.
Yeah, we like movies how we like our movies, okay?
Yeah, no, it is what it is. Sometimes those type of movies, if you don't watch it right when it comes out, if you watch it years later, it doesn't have the same impact on you. So in watching it now, it's kind of just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it just feels.
Yeah, but overall, I still enjoyed it. It was
Yeah.
still a fun watch.
Yes.
It had good meaning and
Yes.
everything behind it. Very deep tones.
A 2 out of 4 M's isn't bad. It's just there's problems.
It's a
There's
it's
problems.
yeah.
No.
Do you want to talk about what you wanted to add to the rating system?
I was
And
gonna let it be a secret until it happens. Unless you want to add it.
Is it not going to happen now?
Is it gonna happen for you?
I was gonna make it happen.
Okay,
actually.
yeah, okay, then yes.
if
You- You
Okay.
introduce it. You introduce it.
Well, okay. So Sean came up with it. It was Sean's concept, and I agreed to it. It's just an extra thing to add on to just
Yes.
desserts, basically.
Uh-huh.
A final, if you give it a chef's kiss.
Yes.
It's
Chef's
a,
kiss.
it's a final. Like, would you recommend this movie? Was it like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And because I've never seen a movie like this before, it was like, again, not necessarily in like an amazing way,
Yes.
but in a way that's like,
it's
oh,
something
this is
special.
It
Yeah.
is something special. I think this movie is something special, and it's
Yeah.
worth watching. So I would give it a chef's kiss.
So 2.5 and a chef's kiss.
I know, as low as the rating is, like I said, when you break it down, there's a lot of things wrong with it.
Yeah.
But overall, if you're just watching the movie and if you know nothing about it, jumping into it, it's a fun enough watch.
Mhm.
And there's some good scenes, there's some emotional scenes,
Mhm.
And again, I give it a chef's kiss if it's worth a watch. And yeah, I'm so in between. I'm not saying I'm not saying
It's okay.
I'm not saying, because I would give it a chef's kiss, but also I don't think I'd ever watch this movie again. So I'm very
You're like, chef's kiss. Never make this
yes,
shit again.
Never again, though.
Chef,
But
go back to
Yeah.
the chopping board.
but like, it's a movie I'll always
Yes.
remember, and I'll always remember
Yeah.
seeing this movie, and I'll remember everything about it. It's a memorable movie,
That
which
is
is
something
why
special,
I give
yeah.
it the chef's kiss.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily have to be an amazing movie.
Yeah.
But if it sticks with me,
Mhm.
and at the end of it, if I start, this makes you think about life and like what
Yeah.
happens after life. Again, very deep tones and everything in this movie. So I would give it the chef's kiss for that.
That's good.
But I would also
yeah.
never sit down for another 3 hours to watch this again. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. I know what happens. I don't need to watch it. Like, I'm sorry.
To be fair, there are movies like that. There's
Yeah.
movies I love that I'm
This
like.
is one of
that-
'em.
Yeah, and it's just like, wow, great movie. Oh, oof, that's a rough watch again. I don't know
Yeah,
if I
no,
feel like
it
doing
is.
again.
It is. I'm sorry. That
Yeah.
is my stance on it.
Yeah.
2.5 M's with a chef's kiss.
Yeah, hey, that's a pretty good rating.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with just the 2 M's.
That's fair.
Because,
That's fair.
yeah.
That's fine. You stick to it.
Because it's like, as much as I do love the film, and it's like I would recommend other people to watch it.
Yeah.
This is not a movie where if I saw like The Green Mile like pop up on my list, I'd be like, oh, I'd be like, there it is.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't react to it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's this
Yeah.
movie. Yeah, no,
So that's just me though. That's just me. So
But it is one of those movies I feel like you have to watch at least once.
You
though. If
should,
you haven't
you
watched it,
should.
watch it.
you should. Yeah.
Other than that, don't watch it again.
It's worth it just for the first half and how it feels in that final scene.
Yes,
with-
and the ending, the impact of the ending was
Yeah.
very, like, it was
It's
emotional.
nice, yes.
It was very well done and good, and just
Yes.
everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And just when the entire execution scene of
Mhm.
John Coffey when they're executing him,
Yeah.
that was done great. That's my favorite scene in the whole movie.
Oh no, hands down.
That's the best scene in the
Hands
whole
down,
movie.
Yes.
It's just that they're crying, the guy's crying for him and stuff like that. They try to put the mask on him, but he's like, "Don't, I'm afraid of the dark."
Yeah.
And stuff. And
Oh,
just-
it's so
it's-
good. It's very
It
well
is,
done.
yeah. See, moments like that, I have to give it what it deserves.
Yes.
Even though it's a low rating.
No, you're
still
right. No, you're right.
still, It still deserves something.
No, you're right, because honestly, watching the movie just for that last scene
It's
is
so
worth
good.
it. It's
yeah.
worth it.
It's a good
No.
payoff. It's a good payoff.
Yeah.
If you can get through some of the rough stuff, then it's a great payoff.
Yes. All right. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say about the Green Mile.
Yeah, well, we have more to say, I feel like, but as of right now, yeah, that's all we have to say.
Yeah,
we probably missed a couple topics. I know I did, but
Yeah, it's like, but I
Yeah.
feel like we covered the whole thing.
we
pretty
did.
Well.
Yeah, we pretty much covered the whole thing.
thing.
Yeah, you get it. You understand it.
Mhm. You've walked the Green Mile.
You have
now.
walked the Green Mile and the Blue Kilometer and all those other colored
the red
distances.
foot. No, pink foot. The
Yeah,
pink
yeah,
foot.
it was the pink foot. You can do many things with it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for joining us then.
Thank you so much for
yes.
joining us. If you did, who knows?
In that last clip, Tom Hanks came.
Oh yeah, I know he came when that light went out. Psh, he was like, "Oh!" He blew a load the minute that light went out.
pretty much.